Makeba Green, and welcome to Nork TV. Today we have special guest, Grammy nominee, R&B singer, Miss Syleena Johnson. Thank you so much for being a guest on today's show.
Thank you for having me.
So, Ms. Johnson, what's some words of advice would you give to other young people who aspire to accomplish success like yourself?
Basically, to just work very hard, working hard, having a strong foundation in God, or whatever that whatever your God is, because I don't go religion, but just having a strong foundation in a higher power. Be in tune with your spirituality, because you're going to need that. You need a foundation to fall back on, and basically to work hard and follow your passion and your dream, and don't be afraid to follow your passion and dream, because a lot of times our passion may not be the end thing to do or the most lucrative thing. For some people, maybe you want to be a writer, but your mom wants you to be a lawyer or something like that. It's very important to follow your passion, because when you work in your passion, you never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So at what age, at what point in your life did you know that singing was your passion and that the industry was your passion?
Well, ironically, singing is not my only passion.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, writing is my passion, one of my passions. And that's kind of what led me to sing, was my writing, and then, just being in plays and different things like that. And then my father, putting me in music and stuff, and just being around music,
Mm-hmm.
it led me to, I think I had fear of singing because I wasn't sure if my talent was strong enough. But I think as I grew in music, then it became my passion. But I have a passion for nutrition more than anything, or passion for my family more than anything. But music is definitely a strong passion. But for me personally, I like to think that I have a lot of different passions, and that's okay too, because you really can do it all in this lifetime. You should be able to fight to accomplish everything that you want to do.
Absolutely. So in what ways, because I understand it may be challenging for other young people to really, really balance all of their passions. How do you balance your passions?
Oh, I'm still trying to figure that out. It's hard to balance everything. As a recording artist, author, a television personality, actress. I modeled for 5 years with Wilhelmina. So a writer. So I wear a lot of hats: mom, wife, sister, all these different things. So it's just a matter of being. What I find is that being organized in my personal life helps me to be able to juggle everything else outside of it.
Absolutely. Now, I read on your bio as well that you have an upcoming book that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So can you just tell us more about your book?
Well, the book is called, and I'm so lazy, like just one more chapter I got to finish. But the book is called The Wait Is Over, and it's my journey in the music industry or the entertainment industry dealing with body image. And I think it's very relevant for our time, because women in general, and not just African American women, but women in general, are very bamboozled. We're getting the short end of the stick with images that are not real, making us feel insecure and making us feel like we can't attain, beauty on our own, that it has to look like what you see in these different images. So I just talk about my personal journey with that, and how being in the music business was like such an eye-opener for me, because I was an athlete all my life. So I always felt like my body was good for sports. It was about making the weight for getting down for some type of sport. So I always felt like that my body was beautiful until I got into the music business.
Wow.
Which is very interesting. When you're in the music business, you're thinking it's all about your talent, but it just isn't. And so the book kind of talks about that, and then just kind of how, as a child, there were small seeds, negative seeds that were planted, and being in the entertainment industry just kind of allowed them to harvest.
Wow. So how did you get past that? Like, what was expected of you in the entertainment industry, and what you felt your own personal beauty was?
Well, maturity is the only thing that has helped, and being around people who love you and are positive and encouraging, and just working on yourself every day. It's an ongoing process. Even as a young person, you always think, especially you guys probably think now, everything's such a big deal, and I got to get this done by this date, in time.
Absolutely.
But what you'll find is that you'll be 30 almost 40 still working on yourself, and 50 and 60 still working on yourself, because it's an ongoing thing. You're supposed to always be ever changing, evolving, and getting better. And so for me, I still have moments of, you know, trying to get to a certain place or wishing that I was in a certain position, because I'm a woman and that's just what women do. But it just doesn't, as the days go by, it's less important. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The number one goal for me is to be happy. And whatever that is, then that's what I'm searching for. First, you know, getting down or losing weight or whatever was about being cute for this photo shoot or this, that, and the third. But now, as you get older, you just want to be as healthy as you can. And I have 2 children that I can, you know, I want to be able to stick around for them. And I want to have energy, and I want to preserve my youth, and I want to stay youthful. You know, I realize that as you get older, you know, things stop working, you know, but I've not gotten to that point yet, thank the Lord. But I want to preserve all of that. And I want to do those things now. I don't want to be like 60 with cancer or some type of needing a hip replacement or something like that, because of the things that I didn't do when I was younger to take care of my body.
Wow, I just learned a whole ton, a lot of information. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
So how does it feel to be one of the performers for Lincoln's Park 10-year anniversary? Well,
it's always a blessing to be able to perform for anyone. And I've never performed for Lincoln Park, so this is a first, and firsts are always cool. It's unfortunate that I won't be able to do a big show because I don't have my band and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be able to sing some songs that I think that people like and people know. And I'll be back August 28th. I'll be at the Highline Ballroom in New York. Nice. And I'll be with a full band. It'll be like an hour and a half set, you know. So, and I've got new material because it's part of my couples therapy tour that kicks off next week in St.
Nice.
Louis.
Congratulations.
So thank you very much. So yeah, so I'll be back. And this is kind of like a little teaser, and being in Newark, I haven't been in Newark in a while performing, so this is awesome. It's just always a privilege to be able to do something that you love to do.
That's great. So August 28th, that's the day before my birthday. My birthday's actually the 27th.
Oh, you're
so
a Virgo. Give me
special.
that, girl. I'm September 2nd.
Oh, you're Virgo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's already quick. So also, you've worked with a ton of people in the industry. Like, how did it feel to work with your first, like, major artist?
Well, the first major artist I worked with was R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, you know, to me, that was the highest. That was the high. The bar was set. So working with anyone else, and he was so unorthodox in how he works, working with everyone else was either refreshing or more relaxed because he's so rigid. Now working with Kanye West was a little stricter because he's very, you know, serious about what he does and stuff like that. So he was a little closer to working with R. Kelly, but for me, R. Kelly took the role of a mentor and really. You know, I really learned a lot from him. So it was a great way to step into the business. But before anybody, my dad has been a recording artist all my life. So he was the first real big time, you know, celebrity star that I worked with was my dad. Nice. So there you go.
So in what ways are you helping to mentor like the next generation? Because, you know, oftentimes when it comes to the industry, there aren't a lot of people who want to open up doors for the next generation because of various things. So in what ways are you helping, you know, to the next generation?
Well, I'm an advocate for R&B music, that's first off. And I'm hoping that, you know, I can be one of the pioneers of this music to keep it alive, because I think that the message is a lot better for our young people. And secondly, I feel like secondly, one of the things that I've been doing is I've been going around and speaking. I've been doing more speaking to young women because I want to talk to them about, you know, I want to try to do my part to help you guys or prevent you guys from making some of the same mistakes that I've made, your mom has made, your aunts have made, you know, and just to really shed some light and help others get through their stuff. And what I've realized too is that women are dealing with a lot of stress, women from the ages of 18 and up, you know, and I think that it's killing us and making us unhealthy and stuff like that. So I've been speaking on health and nutrition and stress management and how that ties together. So I'm doing that. I'm also part of a documentary called Black Girls Unscripted, which is I'm going to be narrating it, and it really just highlights young women telling their story. Young African American women telling their story, and I think that's important because I think that one of the things with young people is that they feel that they don't have a voice.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean a voice on the internet or Twitter or Facebook. I mean a real true voice to talk about things that they really feel, and be able to talk to other black women or just or women, period. But mostly women that look like you,
Absolutely.
other African American women that can help them get through the things that they're dealing with, mentors, if you will. We had that back in our day, but you guys are, it's less and less of it's a shortage.
Unfortunately.
We'll just say that. So what I'm trying to do is merge into being, I don't want to say role model because I will make mistakes, and I want to be able to leave room for that, but a person that can serve as a mentor on a mass level.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm writing books and speaking on nutrition and things like that.
Great. So you're from Chicago, and we're currently in Newark. So we both share the similarity of urban communities, and unfortunately, both Chicago and Newark, we have negative reputations. So how do you combat that? Like, I don't know about you, but every time I tell someone I'm from Newark, like their head drops. It's like, oh, you're from Newark, it's so bad.
Right.
And is that the same thing with Chicago? Like when you tell people where you're from?
People have a good time when I say I'm from Chicago.
Oh, really?
I'm actually from Harvey, Illinois, which is a south suburb, which is the same thing, really. Same neighborhood, same type of stuff. People right now they call us Chirac because there's so many killings of young African American people, and that's terrible and unfortunate. And but I'm always going to be proud of where I'm from and proud of my city. I love Chicago. I love where I'm from. I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
Absolutely.
It's still a beautiful city. There are just some bad spots, just like New York, just
Everywhere
like
else.
LA, just like everywhere else. So I just think that the media glorifies things. If there's something bad happening over here, now this is the worst city. If it's too many of these people over here, now this is the city for that, And I just think that it's going on everywhere, all the time, all things.
Absolutely.
So, you just can't get too caught up in that.
And in what ways, do you think that the media needs to, work on, the representation in terms of young people? Because you know how oftentimes when people talk about young people, we have such a negative rep off the back.
Well, the reason why young people have such a negative rep is because it's getting to be increasingly difficult for parents to parent like we used to. And I say that because there's so much social media access that you guys have that has been used for negative. You have so much access to negativity nowadays that it's very easy for you for that to get into your household. And that makes it harder for the parents to parent. Now, there are some parents out here that are just not on their job, that are just not doing what they're supposed to be doing for whatever reason. But there are some parents out here that are trying very hard to raise their children the right way, but it's very difficult because of the outside influences. And people will do this. Well, you need to get a better rein on your one. Well, we're not like we used to where all we had was a phone with a cord all the way down. If you want to talk on the phone, you had to call the operator and cut in. It was, wasn't no two-way, three-way. Now, I mean, you can get a hold of someone. You can FaceTime. You can see someone.
Multiple ways.
There's no way you can't contact someone now, and go see them and all kind of stuff. So I just think that we're in a different time and we're in a different world, and it's just harder for young people. And because of it, when you're young, you feel like you have access to everything anyway, because it's like a new world. You feel like you want to try this and try that and try this and try that. So imagine if you have just this and this on the table to try, well, then you just got to choose between those two.
Absolutely.
But if you have this entire room full of pens to try, that's what we're dealing with. And not all of those things are good. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Your odds are better with these two things. It's either this or this one, So I just think that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a time where there's way too much of stuff for you guys to get into. It's harder for you guys to be good, to do better. You know what I'm saying? Because the influences out there are so negative.
Wow, you're really, really inspirational.
Thank you very much.
I had little tears in my eyes.
I know a little something.
You did.
I did live half this life expectancy. So I can't go half my life and not know nothing. Now that would be stupid.
So what's next, for you as an artist? When people what can we expect for you as an artist, your upcoming projects, like who you're going to be working with?
I don't know who I'm going to be working with. Whoever wants to work with me. I'm very open. I just had a conversation with David Hollister about maybe doing a duet album, and I'm open to working with artists because I like to work with artists. As far as what's next, my book is coming. I'm still doing Mommy's Got Soul. It's just been on hold for a minute because there's so much going on. And then this tour. I just really want to make this the best tour possible because although the music business is very stressful and sometimes I hate it. I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes I just hate it. I just hate everything about it. I have those days. But the music and being actually on the stage, there's no pain. There's no frustration. Once you get actually on the stage, 9 times out of 10, unless I'm just having the worst time ever, 9 times out of 10, that's where the peace is, for me. So I just want to focus on really, making this tour not just amazing visually and sonically, but fun.
Absolutely.
I want to have fun in what I do. So my goal is not, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then I'm going to be doing this next week. My goal is to try to find fun in every city I go to and maybe like explore some of the monuments, and just really have fun because everything is always about work. And I just want to get out here, be on tour, having a good time, singing and stuff, but really have fun doing it.
Absolutely. And that's what's most important.
You got to have fun.
'Cause
you can't be walking around like this every day, all the time. Yeah, I'm miserable, like, oh, God, I got to sing again. Oh, God,
Absolutely.
That's a disaster. So I just want to really have a good time, and I want to be productive. I don't want to come off my tour tired. I want to come off energized and ready for the next thing,
Absolutely.
So.
Great. And then how can different fans contact you if they have questions, if they want, if they want you to mentor them? I want you to be a mentor. I'm just officially saying it.
Well, let me just say this.
Okay.
I have a very busy life, and I have 2 small children that I'm trying to mentor. They don't listen to me, but I try very hard. They're 4 and 7. Wow. Well, 8. And I have a full life. But when young women reach out to me through my Facebook page and my Twitter, my sister and I run it. So if I don't see it, she'll let me know, and then we both talk to young people all the time. Awesome. I have a group called the Social 70, which is 70 Syleena Johnson fans that just they get involved with the project and they do all kind of cool stuff, and we talk back and forth all the time. So I'm definitely open to speak, but if I'm open to talk and mentor and all of that, but it's just not going to be the return time as you would, as you might like sometimes, because I'm so busy. But definitely open to talk and ask questions and answer questions. One of the girls I was mentoring is going to Howard now, and she was dealing with a lot of stuff with her mom and just going through stuff, and I would talk to her and tell her how to be strong and to hang in there. And most of the things that I have to tell you guys is it's not that serious as you think it is. Most of the things that you're dealing with are just not that serious. You just think that now because you're very young. And you're allowed to think that. Doesn't mean you're bad, doesn't mean you're lacking. You should feel those things. But I'm here to tell you from the other side, because I've been where you're trying to go. Yes. It ain't going to matter, girl.
Thank you so much, Ms. Johnson.
It ain't going to matter. Half the stuff you probably worried about ain't going to matter. So just keep it moving. You're welcome.
You are 1,001% inspirational.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
I try.
Thank you so much. Today we're wrapping up our interview with Miss Syleena Johnson. She is like thebomb.com. She is really emotional. I have tears in my eyes.
Come on, dear.
and if you guys haven't gotten a chance to follow her, please follow her. And thank you so much again for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.